group. Tell everybody we are on and pop in. And we are now recording. So welcome to our team call, Tuesday, August 25th, guys. Already. Hold on one second. Just posted here in our group. Let everyone know we are on and to hop on. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so hopefully we have more chime in or go back and listen to the replay. Can anyone hear me okay? Good, okay. Because we are going over a topic that a lot of you have messaged me about. So I do want everybody to hopefully hear this. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. And it might not be the most clear, but hopefully it will be good enough. Whoa, I lost you guys. I don't like doing that. There you are. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger this way. Oh, and then I lose you guys. Okay. Maybe here. Can you guys see that fairly okay? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so it's going to be over time management. We have a lot of teachers on our team, and even if you're not a teacher, like I know time management, it's even something I am still like trying to try different methods and you know, kind of trial and error thing. So I'm not the best, I don't feel, with time management. I feel like I could be a lot better, but hey, we got to work with our strengths and try to improve our weaknesses. But first, I want to start with some shout outs for those of you who have already hit Changing Lives Club, Success Club, have already helped at least 3 people connect to a challenge pack. So we have Carly, who has 12 Success Club points. Yay, Carly. This girl's on fire, signing coaches left and right this month. You go, girl. We have Rosie, my Latina boss. She is at 11. Christine Anna is at 8. Casey is at 6, brand new coach, and she'll be Emerald on Thursday, so way to go, girl. Alma is at 6 as well. Carla is at 6, Carrie's at 6, and I am currently at 58 points, so way to go. There's a lot of you guys who are at 4 and at 2, so definitely kick it in gear. Don't think, oh, it's already the 25th of this month, game over. Absolutely not. Like, you have until August 31st at 11:59 Eastern Time to help change these lives. We have Molly Griffin, who's sitting at 4, Cindy sitting at 4, Jonathan is at 4, Laura is at 3, Claudia Orduna is at 4, Eva is at 4, Cynthia Reyes is at 4, Tara is at 4, Yasel is at 4, and then a whole bunch of you are sitting at 2. And so push hard, guys. Remember, like, the end of the race, we don't stop and slow down. At the end of the race, when we see that finish line, we speed up and we give it our absolutely best. And yesterday I posted in our Team Living Fit, I am going to start doing recognition for volume, for team volume. And what team volume is, it goes by a weekly basis, and it's basically volume that you accumulate with your own personal sales, and then customer volume, so customer sales. And this is another way to recognize you guys, because I know we change lives other than just challenge packs. If you help someone connect to a program, that's still going to change their lives. If you help someone connect to Energize, that's still going to help change their lives. So I wanted to do that because I don't want us to just focus on Success Club. Like, yeah, we focus so much on it because it is a monthly goal, but there are other ways to help people. Heck, if you have people in the 7-day free clean eating group right now, you are helping change a life. So don't get, I guess, discouraged. Don't feel like you're not doing enough. I mean, if you're giving your absolutely all, that's your best, right? It's just some months are better than others. And talking about the 7-day free clean eating group, thank you so much for helping with that. We have like almost, 200 people in there? I don't even remember how many people we have in there. Yeah, 200 people in the free clean eating group. 269, holy wow. So thank you for helping with that. Remember, if you see I make it to where only admins can post, and I just randomly chose admins. The reason I do that because there's almost 300 people, so can you imagine how crazy that group would be if everyone is posting, which would be awesome, but then things get lost, and people are like, as it is, people are like, where's the meal plan? Where's the workout? And this is the best way I can control it without being too chaotic, and they're still welcome to post in the comments in the post. So make sure you go in there during your power hour when you have time and look for your participants, your guests, and make sure you're liking and commenting. Hey, way to go, girl. That looks great. Keep up the great job. Like, they need to hear your encouragement because you're their guest. I mean, their coach. And with that being said, tomorrow is Wednesday. It's like kind of midway through the 7-day clean eating group. So this is where I will privately message my guest. And if I've seen that they've been like actively engaged, I'll just say something short and sweet like, hey, I just want to let you know you're doing an awesome job. Keep kicking butt. Or I might ask them like, how are you liking the group? Or if I don't see that they have been actively participating, I'll just say, hey girl, just checking in on you, see how you're doing with the 7-day free clean eating group. How are you doing with it? Just a quick midway check. And then come Friday or Saturday, I would go ahead and message them again, and this time I'm going to invite them into an investment challenge group, right? And that's 21-day fix or size. And I would just say something like, again, depending on how actively involved they were, I just say something again like, great job, you kicked butt, you're doing awesome. Hey, I just wanted to see if you've thought, what did you want to do after the 7 days? Because I do have a 21-day fix group on X date, and I would love for you to join us. If you love this group in 7 days, you're going to, love the 21-day fix group even more. Whatever it is that you say, sweet and short, genuine, just make sure that you invite them into your next group, into your next investment group. Some of them will be ready to invest in the challenge pack, some only in the program, some might not be ready yet, but you need to go ahead and send out that personal invitation to them. All right, yay, some more of you hopped on. Welcome, guys. Okay, so the key of this call is going to be about time management. Again, I don't talk about this subject a lot because I feel like this is something that I am still learning. But there is something that I did learn and that I use, and I try my best to follow that, and that is the 5 buckets method. I don't know if there's YouTube videos on it. There might be, so you can learn more about that. But pretty much you have 5 buckets, right? And you can color code these 5 buckets. And you choose your 5 buckets, but you can only have 5. So it could be your family would be your most important family, your buckets. Your time, because you need to focus on yourself as well in order to be able to help others, right? So you are very important. Your career, your job, beach body, and then your health and fitness, right? Those would be, for example, 5 buckets. Now the key is that you can only have 3 priorities in each bucket. So top 3, top 3, top 3, top 3, top 3. And the reason you don't want to have more than 3 priorities in each bucket is because they will start to overfill, and that's when we start to get super overwhelmed, super stressed, right? Another rule is the buckets cannot spill into each other, and I'll kind of explain that here in a little bit. And what I mean by that is, let's just say you are from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., you're in your family bucket. Your kids are home from school, you're making dinner, you're reading to them, you're helping with their homework. That's your family bucket. You are 100% present in your family bucket. That means that you might have your phone on airplane mode, or that means that if you get a Facebook message, you don't go and answer it, because I feel like that is when we start to feel so overwhelmed. We feel like we're pulled in all these different directions because we're trying to do everything at once. And if you listen to Chalene Johnson, she says that multitasking is the worst thing ever. And now I agree with her, right? Because when you're trying to multitask, you're trying to do everything at once. Yeah, you're kind of half-assing everything because you're not fully focused on one task at a time. So that's really important with this 5 buckets method, is that when you are in each bucket, you are 100% in that bucket. That's hard for me. That's something I struggle with, but I've really been trying to buckle down and stay true to that. And I do see the rewards of that. Like, I just feel more accomplished. I feel like less stressed because I'm like, okay, you know, I'm in my Beachbody bucket right now. This is what I'm doing. Like, nothing else. Same thing. Again, I'm not perfect. You know, some days are better than others, but ideally, that's the way it would work. So you time could be date nights, you know, your girl date nights, anything that makes you happy, manis, petties, whatever makes you happy, that's your time, right? Meditating, praying, whatever makes you happy, that is your time. That's a very important bucket that I feel like that's the one that we kind of kick to the curb as soon as things get super busy. Like for me, I love to nap. So for me, nap time goes in my bucket, right? I know those of you who have kids are like, what is a nap? And my coffee dates in the morning with myself, that's my me time. It makes me happy. And I mean, those are like the smallest buckets for me, but it's important. So of course, your career, whatever it is that you know, your career is when you're at your job, like for example, if you're a teacher, and I wish I would have done this when I was a teacher because I did the opposite. When I was a teacher, I would try to be a teacher and a Beachbody coach all at once. And so here I am, like, grading papers. Oh, I'm answering a message. Or the kids are at recess. I'm going to sneak in, a post. I was driving myself freaking crazy. And so what I would encourage you guys to do is, if you're a teacher, whatever it is that you are, be a teacher 100%. Again, you don't want to be mediocre as a teacher and as a Beachbody coach because you're trying to do both at the same time. Now I do, like for example, my success partner, Ashley, worked at Nike. She just recently retired and is now working Beachbody full time. But she said that she had a lot of free time. And at her job, they didn't really care whether she was on Facebook or not, as long as she got her stuff done. I guess that's a different situation. And if you feel like you have extra time at work and it doesn't interfere with your work, then yeah, maybe you can work Beachbody here and there. But like, you know, those of us who were teachers or something where it dedicates all, you know, it requires all our time, then be present in that, right? So be a teacher and that's it when you're in your career bucket. And then Beachbody, same thing for Beachbody. Whenever it is that you do sit down, and we'll talk about that, the tips that I give you guys, you're 100% a Beachbody coach, right? That means you're not going to be doing something else that is not Beachbody related because that's your Beachbody bucket. Health and fitness the same. Meal prepping, getting your workout in, all of that falls into your health and fitness. You're taking care of yourself. That's that bucket. You're not like working out and like checking Instagram at the same time, right? Or you're not working out and watching TV at the same time. You got to be focused in each bucket. So I feel like when you try to focus on more than one thing at once, that's when we start to feel crazy. Okay. So the first thing I would say to all of you guys, and this is what I did when I was a teacher, establish your routine for personal development. Why do I say this? Because as soon as we get super busy, teachers go back to work, you go back to your normal routines, the first thing out the window is personal development. I've seen it over and over because you're like, why? I don't have time to read. Don't use that as an excuse. Don't use being, only working Beachbody part-time as a crutch. You do have time. You just got to make time for it. And guys, I can't stress it enough. Like, if you are not doing personal development, your business will die. You might gain a little bit of momentum and then it will die. There's just no way it's going to work if you're not investing in personal development. So get into a routine. Driving is the perfect time for personal development. This is what I would do when I was a teacher. And then don't wing it. Write it down of what you're going to do every day so that you make it a routine till that it just becomes like another, like brushing your teeth. You make it a routine. So these are some suggestions that I have. Monday in the morning when you're driving to work, I would choose a Joe Osteen podcast. His podcast, he has a new one every Sunday, so I would wait for Monday morning to listen to it. It's 30 minutes. That's me. It can be any podcast. It can be anything that fuels your soul, right? What a better way to start a Monday than by fueling your soul? Monday on your drive back home, a time management audible, or whatever it is that you're struggling with. So many of you have told me you're struggling with time management, and this month is rough for you because your kids are going back to school, you're going back to work, like schedules are being scattered again. So if time management is what you're struggling with right now, should be your personal development. And I say audible because if you are super busy, you're not gonna have time to sit and read. Even if you say yourself, I'll make 5 minutes, you probably won't. So get the Audible app. Amazon has an Audible app, and you buy books as Audible. That's what I would do, right? I would, driving home, I would listen to a time management book. Tuesday morning, listen to the National Wake Up Call replay. National Wake Up Calls are every Monday, but you don't have time, right? You're gonna be at work. So you're gonna listen to it Tuesday, Monday on your drive to work. Again, 30 minutes. Tuesday in the afternoon, when you're driving home, another Audible or a podcast. Wednesday morning, Team Living Fit replay, right? We have our calls every Tuesday nights. If you can't be on live, Wednesday morning on your drive home, that's what you're gonna listen to. Well, that's what I would do. Wednesday on the drive home, Audible podcast. Thursday AM, a Fit and Funky replay. Our Team Fit and Funky calls are every Monday night, 8 p.m. live. If you can't listen to it Thursday morning, fit it in on your drive to work and listen to it then. Thursday afternoon, again, on your drive home, Audible podcast. Friday, favorite podcast, Audible again. Again, this is going to require sacrifices. If you love to listen to radio, I'm sorry, but success requires, sacrifices. And it's like, what's going to help you grow your business? Music or personal development? Personal development is. And this is such an easy way to still fit in personal development. I don't care how busy you are, everyone drives, or everyone gets ready in the morning, or everyone cooks. Pop in some personal development. Even if you feel like you're not 100% listening, like your subconscious will pick up on so much of that. I know sometimes people tell me, well, I can't really listen to it because I'm not really focused. Your subconscious picks up a lot of it. It's better to just pick up some of it than not do any at all. So please, please, please do not throw personal development out the window. Don't use not having enough time as a crutch, as an excuse. Do have time. You just got to make time for it. All right. I tailored this to teachers, but again, everyone. And I did this because, as you know, I was a teacher. I juggled both Beachbody and being a full-time kindergarten and then first grade teacher for 16 months. So I know exactly what it's like to have to feel stressed, to try to do 2 things at once. I was also an Insanity instructor, and I also did fit clubs after school, and I have a husband. I know I don't have kids, but it still was challenging for me to do all of this. Again, if I could go back when I was a teacher, I would be 100% a teacher. Again, there's times where I try to do both at the same time, and it was just driving me bonkers. So, but this is what I would do. I did that as a teacher. I would get to school 1 hour before the kids got there. And what I would do in this hour, I looked like, I don't know how to describe it. I was just like trying to do everything I could that would get me home earlier in the afternoon or minimize the work I took home. If you're a teacher, amen, we take like so much work home, especially when you get to the grades where you have to grade things. But anyways, I would get there an hour before. It took sacrifice. I slept less. I slept very little those 16 months, but it was a sacrifice I was willing to make. I told myself, I will make whatever sacrifices I need to make so that one day I don't have to make sacrifices. One day, like now, I can sleep until 8, 7, 9, whatever time I want to sleep in. I was very sleep deprived back then, but hey, I am making up for that now. I had very little date nights with the hubby. I don't think I saw my friends in those 16 months. Again, those sacrifices paid off. I could get up and go have date night with hubby any day. I can go see my friends any day. Those sacrifices will pay off, but you have to make them first. And just know it's temporary. So anyways, I would get to school, I would put things up in the wall, I would grade papers, I would get folders done. Again, anything I could to get me home earlier, as quick as possible after school. Lunchtime, whenever my team would get together for lunch, I would not get with them. I explained to them, I apologized and I said, I'm not trying to be rude, but I need to get stuff done. Again, the kids were at lunch. I used this time very wisely. It was only 30 minutes to get as much done as I could. As a teacher, you always have things to do. Every second was used super effectively because that meant when I got home, I would have more Beachbody time. That meant that I could get, instead of, leaving school at 6, I could leave school at 5:30 or 5. Because let me tell you, that teachers get out at 3 is a huge, big, fat myth. It's a lie. We don't get out at 3. It's like 6, 7 p.m. sometimes. Crazy. But I did try to my best to use every second I could super effectively. So again, if you have a job that requires you to take homework afterwards, try to get everything as much done there so that you have more Beachbody time. And again, don't be mediocre at both. And what I mean by that, if you're and that's how I felt towards the end. I felt like I was being a half-ass teacher and a half-ass Beachbody coach. I felt like it was unfair for my students and it was unfair for my challengers. I wasn't being 100% in that bucket. So if I could go over again, if I could do it over again, I would try to do it differently. It worked out somehow, but that's because I guess I'm so used to handling stress and no sleep. But some people can't. Some people break down. Most people do. Something else that I did when I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I had after school fit club Monday and Wednesdays. That counted as my workout too. So again, when I got home, I didn't have to work out anymore. I did it with my after school fit club. So I got to help my colleagues after work, and I got to help myself. So that's just a little extra thing that I would do there. Okay, does anyone have any questions so far? No? Everyone's good? Okay. Okay, so what's gonna save your life? Buffer app. Even I actually am using it way more now that I'm a full-time Beachbody coach, funny, than I used to before. It is a $10 investment if you want to post in at least 10 of your groups. I think the free version only allows like 2 groups. I don't remember. $10 a month, guys. That's an investment in your business you can make. It's not gonna break or make you $10. It really will change everything. Again, I use it way more now, and I'm using it way more in my groups. Those of you in the 7-day clean eating group, that's not me posting, that's Buffer app. But I do go back and I try to engage and interact with the people because you don't want to become a robot. I think you could easily get so used to using Buffer app that you don't even go back to interact with your challengers. But you got to make time for that too. Okay, so this is my tip on that. You, again, make it a habit, right? Everything is just what takes 21 days to create a habit, right? 21-day fix. You just got to make it a habit. So those of you who are super busy, you got kids in sports, you have a full-time job, your wife, you're everywhere at once, you got to find an hour or 2, 1 day out of the week to sit down and schedule your posts. So maybe Saturday or Sunday, AM or PM. Again, this might require sacrifice. And what you want to do is you want to schedule at least 3 posts a day on your social media page. So if you have a like page, you're going to post them on there. If you're using your personal page, post them on there. It's better to post via Buffer than not to post at all, because again, right, you have to be consistent in people's newsfeed in order for you to be successful in this business, in order for you to be able to help people. I did make a note on here. If you can post live in the morning, like I know Marty's really good at that. She's a teacher too. If you can trust yourself to post live at least in the morning, then go ahead and do that one live. But if you can't trust yourself, when the tough gets going, tough gets tough, I don't know what that saying is. A lot of you, you disappear from social media. And I get it, you're busy and everything, but you can't if you want to make this business successful. If you want to make this business work, you can't disappear, not even for a day, not even for 2 days. People will notice that. It's hard enough to try to stand out in this business, and then you disappearing every once in a while. And that makes you look very unreliable. And hello, your challengers are not going to join you if they even have like the slightest what is that word? The slightest, I can't think of the word. If they think that you are even a little bit reliable, they don't know your life is truly busy right now. All they know is like, whoa, Leticia hasn't posted in like 3 days. I'm not going to join her challenge group. Like, how is she going to help me when she's, you know, disappearing here and there? You know, she's not reliable. I'm not going to join her challenge group. But you'd be surprised. Like, people watch that kind of stuff. I know it sounds silly, but they do. Okay. Now, one thing that I do encourage you, if you are going to be using Buffer like a champ, is that your important posts, and these are like your invites to your challenge groups, maybe a post about the 3-day sneak peek, maybe a post about whatever. If it's a super important post that you want people to see it, you want to make sure you try to make this a live post, because Facebook does give more preference to live post than they do to something scheduled. So if you set an alarm, set a timer, and let it go off at 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. But you're already gonna have this post created, right? You're gonna have it created, so you're gonna do is copy and paste, boom, post it. Challenge groups, you can post in your challenge group, post at least 3 times, I would say, in your challenge groups. And I know some of you are asking, what do I post with Buffer? You post the same things you've been posting without it. Recipes, motivational quotes, motivational pictures of you as well. And then personal things is too, humor, everything you were posting before. People shouldn't be able to tell the difference now that you're using Buffer, right? It shouldn't look like something that I be careful with is that you become like a Pinterest page. So you know when you go to Pinterest, you can't really, there's rarely pictures of people. It's more just like graphics. Don't become that. I know it's easy for that to happen if you're using Buffer a lot. Don't become a Pinterest. When people click on your Facebook, they shouldn't have to scroll too far to see a picture of you, a selfie of you, a video of you. Remember, people are joining you and connecting with you. So something that I had in here is to save posts. Like, let's just say on the weekend, you do fun things with your family, or there's some events that happen during the week. Save those pictures so that you can post them during the week. Because I know, like, you know, your schedules get pretty mundane and you're like, well, I don't do anything fun during the week. Save some of the weekend pictures, post them, schedule them during Buffer, and then attach a Beachbody meaning to them if possible. So you can tie your personal life with your Beachbody life. That's so important for people to see and for you to paint a picture of, because we want people to want to be coaches, right? We want people to join us. So if we're painting pictures of, you know, that Beachbody and our personal lives are just kind of having like a perfect combination, that's going to attract people to you, that's going to get people curious about this and want to join you. Something else, make videos on the weekend. So those of you that like to post a video of the day, spend, again, 30 minutes, you make 5 moves, and each day you post one of those moves, right? You just have to think smarter and work smarter when you are so limited on time. I promise you it's possible. It might be a little rocky at the beginning, but you just work smarter, think of ways that you could work smarter so that you're still able to do everything you were doing before. Like, that's it. Okay. Okay, now your power hours. So we talked about when you're a teacher, when you're at your job, you're doing that 100%. When you're with your family, you're with your family 100%. When you're in your workout time, that's you 100% now. When you're on your Beachbody bucket, you're in your Beachbody bucket 100%. So somewhere in your busy day, like I know Tara posted this morning, she got up at 5 a.m. and she did her power hour at 5 a.m. Do you think that was a sacrifice for her? I'm pretty sure. Did she want to probably wake up at 5 a.m. to do that? Probably not. That's the thing with these like small, mundane, boring things. We don't really want to do them, right? But we have to if we want to be successful. So your power hour, this is going to be when you feel you can squeeze it in either by waking up in the morning or by staying up later at night. I am not a morning person, so what I would do when I was a teacher, I would stay up pretty late. Sometimes till like 1 a.m. I'm not telling you have to stay up to 1 a.m. Again, I wanted it bad. I wanted to succeed bad. I wanted to retire as a teacher bad. Even though I like teaching, I love Beachbody more. I wanted to be successful more than anything. So yeah, there was days where I would stay up till like 1 in the morning, have to get up at 5. Again, very little sleep. That's a sacrifice I decided I was going to take. So it depends, like how successful do you want to be, how quickly you want to get there, and it's going to determine how many sacrifices you're willing to take. So whenever you do your power hour, mine was at night, you're going to, again, be laser focused. You have to turn off your phone, turn off your phone. Again, I put on here, if you're not working Beachbody full time, that doesn't mean you can't be successful. So don't use it as an excuse, and I put that in here because I did that all the time. Like when I became a coach, I would see Lori and Kim Lima and then Rank Advance. And then I would be like, oh, but they're doing this full time. I'm not. I started using that as an excuse till one day I'm like, that's bull crap. I can do just as good as them. It's probably gonna take me longer and be more challenging for me because I do have a full-time job and they don't. That doesn't mean don't use that as an excuse as to why you aren't succeeding or why you aren't getting where you want to get, because it's not an excuse. It's harder, it's more challenging, but it's not impossible. There's tons of coaches who have been able to juggle kids, sports, and full-time jobs and Beachbody coaches, so you won't be the first and you won't be the last, promise you. So you're gonna have your power of 3. Again, you can find this in the files of our group, and you're gonna have a check-off list. So that's what I would do. I would sit down, because if you sit down and you have no idea what to do, that's time you're wasting, right? When you're busy, every second you have to be efficient. So I would sit down. All right, did I send my Hey Girl messages? Check. Did I send at least 3, friend requests? Check. Did I invite people to challenge group? Check. Did I work out? Check. Check. You have to have something where you just boom, 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 boom. Guys, that's what I'm saying. Even if you have 30 minutes in this business, you can still be successful with 30 minutes in this business as long as you're laser focused. And those activities on the power of 3, those are your vital activities. Everything else is just bonus. If you have time, you can do anything else. As long as you're getting all of those daily actions. And the thing about that is the power of 3, the actions on there, no one will know if you do them. No one will know if you don't do them. No one will. And this is how coaches start to slip away, because it's so easy not to do them, right? If you read The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and if you haven't, you gotta read that book, The Slight Edge, love it. He talks about how there's only like a tiny difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And that tiny difference is that successful people, they're not smarter, they're not more talented, they're not better looking, they're not more fit. The only difference with successful people, they are willing to do those small, tiny actions that are easy to do, but also easy not to do, that the unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Sending 3 friend requests a day, that's easy. But I promise you, there's tons of coaches who don't do it, and the ones who do are successful. Inviting someone to your challenge group, that's easy to do, and it's also easy not to do. So gotta fit in time for that power of 3, guys. And then I added here down here, because I was talking to a coach, and she was telling me how her husband was giving her her husband was giving her, I guess he was just kind of complaining, right, about the whole, most husbands will, right, until they fully understand. So she felt like she was being pulled apart. She loves this business, but her husband was always getting on her case because she was working this business and she has kids. So what I told her to do the same thing. I told her, when you are with your kids, be with your kids. When you are with your husband, be with your husband, and that's it. The last thing you want to do, guys, is have your family resent you, right? If your kids are always saying, Mom, you're always on your phone, or your husband's like, get off that phone already, that means you're trying to do 2 things at once and you're not being 100% what you're supposed to be doing at that time. And I know that, I got a message, it's so exciting, you want to check it. Your messages, Beachbody Business will be there tomorrow, or will be there when it's time for your power hour. Right now, it's time for your family, or whatever it is whatever bucket you're in. And that's the hard thing about the buckets. It's not as easy as it seems. And I told her, talk with your husband. Make compromises. Let him know how important this is to you. Let him know how happy it makes you. Let him know your goals, even though he thinks it's crazy. And he probably won't understand if he's not like in the Beachbody environment. And most husbands start to understand when you show them the money, right? When you show them that this is a real business and you can make real money. That's when they kind of start to come around. But I told her, sit down with him and let him know, and then make compromises. Say, okay, is it okay if it's okay with you? Can I work? You know, will it be okay if I work my Beachbody business after I put the kids to bed from 9 to 10? Just give me an hour a day. Or on the weekends, I will wake up early before the kids get up, and I would do it then. You know, if it's one of those cases where your husband is not fully on board, you have to kind of make sacrifices, and then, you know, and then talk with your whole family. Be like, okay, you know, whenever mommy is with you, mommy's going to be 100% with you. But when mommy is doing Beachbody time, you got to give mommy that hour or those 30 minutes. And I've heard other coaches use that. I mean, I had never had that issue. I don't have kids. All right. So the next thing is, like I mentioned before, your personal development, I feel, should always mirror whatever it is that you are struggling with. So I just Googled best personal development books on time management, right? GTS. What? No, Google that. Yeah, Google that shit. So these are some of the books that came up, and I've actually heard of this first one. Excuse me. I've never read it. Awaken the Giant Within, Anthony Robbins. I've heard it's a great book on time management. Again, you can get it Audible, right? So you can listen to it on your drive to work. Chalene Johnson podcast. She's done tons of podcasts on time management, on multitasking, on getting your spouse on board. Chalene Johnson is best. She has a lot of really good advice. First Thing First by Stephen Covey, another great time management book. Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy, and then The Art of Getting Things Done. So this is an area that you're struggling with, and I highly recommend that you invest your personal development time in these books, because that is what you need help in right now. Does anyone have any questions about this or anything in particular? Let me stop share so I can see you all. Here they are. Hey, Cindy. Some of you hopped on while I was. Esther. No one has questions? Everyone's good? Or anything to add on? I wish Tara was here. I feel she was really good on managing so much at once. Sorry while I drink my, guys, if you haven't tried the Digestive Boost, highly recommend. If you have a regularity issue, I know TMI, but this is the third day. I am loving it. And the Focus Boost, also really good. Just throwing that in there. Nope. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on. I will let you guys go. Get on with your lives. Hope this was helpful in some way. If you need anything, you know where to find me. You guys have a great day. Keep changing lives and keep kicking butt, okay? Thank you guys. Bye.